Welcome, I'm Natalie Delahaye. I'm here to give you some astrological guidance for the coming month. So this forecast is for all sun signs, not just Scorpio, though it is Scorpio month. But we all have planets or points in Scorpio, whatever our sun sign is. And these planets and points in Scorpio are going to be activated and illuminated within Scorpio season. So astrology is very linked to nature, the seasons and the equinoxes. And in the Northern Hemisphere, at this time of the year, the leaves are dropping, everything is turning, the days are darkening, and everything's going back within to the earth. And in the same way, we can leave parts of us, we can leave patterns, we can leave behaviours, we can leave anything that's no longer relevant and attuned to our authenticity. We can leave it behind, like a snake shedding its skin. Now, Scorpio coincides with Halloween, All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. You can see this is a very Halloween-y sofa I'm sitting on. It's got that orange pumpkin and colour. And these events are very connected to Scorpio in the way that they are times of remembering souls from the past. They are time to remember those who have departed. And on Halloween, the veils between our world and the other world are very thin. And that's what makes it a spooky time of year. And this always happens on Scorpio season. So let's talk about the archetype and mythology and symbolism of the sign Scorpio. So with Scorpio, there's three main levels to a Scorpio. So the first is the reptilian scorpion, which is one of the first creatures of the earth. It's a powerful survivalist creature, and we all have that need to survive within us. We all have the survivalist part of our brain. And it's the part that relies on those gut instincts. So Scorpios are very good at listening to their gut instincts, being led by their gut instincts. It's their emotional antennae. They are psychic and intuitive. And, they can sense and smell things. I mean, really, intuition is like a sixth sense, and Scorpios have that sixth sense. And really, it's a survivalist tool. It's like if they're sensing something, that saying, I feel something in my waters, I feel it. There's that intuitive, psychic sense about something, even though someone's saying something and everyone else is agreeing and thinking this person's fine. Why am I getting a sense that there's something else going on? I'm not quite sure whether to trust that person. So Scorpios tend to go with their feelings when it comes to life, interactions and people. But sometimes that can, they're not always right. So sometimes they can go too deep when really they didn't need to look so deep. Things are much more straightforward than they think. But then with Scorpio, this is an amazingly brilliant talent that they have to really go deep and to uncover the truth. They are the natural born detectives. They are also the natural born healers. Beyond the more instinctive Scorpio, which is all a part of us, we all have that more kind of primal part of our brain. It's a survivalist part that is sensing danger, sometimes when it's not there, or it is because it's there for our survival. Sometimes we are imagining the worst just so that we don't get disappointed. But in situations when we need to run for our life because there's a problem, then this scorpionic survivalist part of our brain is there to protect us and help us. But it is like the emergency part of our brain, but it's there for a reason. It's there to protect us, and we do need to survive in those situations. But the other part of Scorpio is once it's kind of gone beyond that need to be in the more primal instincts and emotions, when it doesn't need to be, because a lot of the time they don't need to be. So they have transcended the more survivalist part of the fear and the the need to constantly be on high alert. They have transcended into the golden eagles, who can see things from a great vantage point. They can get a good perception of life, a good perspective, because they are transcending the more earthly dimension in favour of being able to perceive things from a wider perspective. And this is where the Scorpio becomes a healer. And Scorpios, you find a lot of Scorpionic people within the medical world. They are the natural born healers. They want to help. They're very kind. They're a water sign. And then you have the Phoenixes, who've risen from the ashes. And these are the very evolved kinds of Scorpios who have understood the connections between the cycles of birth, death, rebirth, in the same way that in Buddhism, or is it Tibetan Buddhism, the link between birth, death and rebirth is all very connected. It's a cycle of life. There's no separation between all of those phases. They're all one. And the Scorpio within us has that understanding of life. Everything for Scorpio is about new chapters and transforming. They're very happy to make those changes and to shed those layers that are no longer relevant and authentic. So this is that transformative time of metamorphosis. It's about going deep in the same way that nature is reminding us to go deep, to go within. It's a yin time, yin, feminine, earth. It's that time. So on the 28th in the UK is the new moon in Scorpio. And in other countries whose time zone is 3 hours plus before the UK, it's going to be on the 27th this new moon is happening. So new moons are new beginnings. They're times to refresh. They're times to set new intentions. And remember the focus on feelings. When you're wanting to manifest something, it's not necessarily enough just to think about it intellectually or academically. You need to really have that feeling of exactly how you're going to feel when you get what you really desire in life. And it's connecting with your feeling nature, which will really give you some understanding about where your thoughts are and how to really make things happen, how to make your dreams happen, through really listening to the gut, really listening to your feelings and connecting your feelings with your focus and goals, and listening to your intuition. And with Mercury, planet of communication, going retrograde at the beginning of November, that's a very right brain time. We'll be more able to feel our way through things and to use our intuition when it comes, and our imagination. Imagination is everything in terms of understanding things and getting a connection and an understanding of what our unconscious is really doing. It's being conscious of the unconscious and through our feelings. And in the new moon chart, the ruler is Pluto, the modern ruler, which is Scorpio's planet. Pluto, the planet of transformation, is in dialogue with Saturn, which is the planet of karma, and the south node. The south node is the letting go. So this is a time to transform those old patterns that are no longer relevant, those patterns of power, ego, control, things that may have held us up in the past, but now there's a new system, a new foundation of feeling in control, feeling empowerment, and feeling connected to the universe. And we have Uranus, the awakening planet, which is also playing a very starring role. So this is helping to awaken us, to take us from A to B. And yes, there may be some real surprises and shifts happening much quicker than you could have imagined. It's when our future becomes a little bit closer to where we are, and so it's our timeline which is really shifting at that time. And with my background in aromatherapy, I want to suggest 3 essential oils that really resonate for Scorpio season, and these are lavender, the wonderful healing lavender, great for sleep, and frankincense, which is a very sacred essential oil, and also patchouli. So these 3 really resonate with Scorpio season. So any aromatherapists amongst you, any people who love to use essential oils, these are my suggestions for you. So do visit my website it's nataliedelahaye.com, and you can find out more about what I do, what my services are, my blogs, articles. Have a wonderful month, and do come back for next month's forecast. All the best.